Tolo TV.
My name is Sharif Hassanyar. I am from Tolo TV, Afghanistan. Mr. Secretary General, can you please tell me what will be the impact and the damage of insider attack to the NATO mission in Afghanistan?
I would like to stress once again that these insider attacks will not have an impact on our strategy, neither our strategy nor our timeline. We will continue to build up the capacity of the Afghan security forces. Soon we will have reached our goal of having 352,000 Afghan security forces. We will continue our training, advisory and assistance activities to build up not only the quantity of Afghan security forces, but also the quality. We will continue to mentor, continue our mentoring and partnering activities, and we will hand over in a gradual process lead responsibility for the security to the Afghan security forces, province by province. And that process will be completed by the end of 2014. Already now, we have handed over lead responsibility to the Afghan security forces in areas that cover around 75% of the population. Soon, a fourth so-called tranche of transition will be announced by President Karzai. So we will continue according to the strategy and the timeline and the roadmap we outlined already in Lisbon in November 2010. And the insider attacks will not change that.
BBC.
Jonathan Beale, BBC. I know you can't give us specific numbers, but can you give us an idea of the scale of the drawdown that will take place next year? The British Defence Secretary said it will be significant as far as British troops are concerned. And I think it would be helpful to get that idea, because otherwise, there's a danger, I guess, in it being interpreted as a rush to the exit, which you say is not happening. And also, another figure given that at the end of 2014, there could be as many as 20,000 international troops left in Afghanistan. Is that figure about right?
First, on the post-2014 mission, we have not yet decided the size of that training mission. We are in a very early stage of planning. That decision will be taken at a later stage, and of course, the exact configuration will also, and size, will also depend very much on the situation by the end of 2014. So the brief answer is no, we have not yet taken the decision on the size of the training mission post-2014. Now, as regards the drawdown of troops during the rest of the transition period, we are now awaiting recommendations from our military commanders. I would expect such recommendations to be finalized by the end of this year, and political decisions will be taken based on military recommendations. So again, we have not today discussed how exactly to shape the drawdown. But let me tell you that drawdowns, redeployments, will follow an overall plan and be well coordinated within the ISAF coalition. That's also a clear commitment from the meeting today. All ministers agreed that obviously there will be drawdowns and redeployments as a logical result of the handover of security responsibility to the Afghans. And consequently, we are able to change the role of our troops, including draw down the number. But this will take place according to the timelines and the roadmaps and the overall strategy we have outlined. So it will not be a rush for the exit. I stress this once again because, and now I have to address you in a very open and frank way, because I have seen many misinterpretations of these announcements of drawdowns. Please understand that these announcements are logical results of the handover of lead responsibility to the Afghans. It's not because ISAF partners rush for the exit. It's not because of lack of cohesion within our coalition. On the contrary, we have agreed to hand over to the Afghans, and as they step forward, our troops can step backwards. And that's what will happen. So I have to tell you that it will not be breaking news when you can report drawdowns. You will see drawdowns, but it's not a rush for the exit. It takes place within the framework we have agreed altogether.
AP.
I understand about drawdowns, but have any of the allies indicated they would like to have more caveats added as a result of the insider attacks? So that's one question. And the other question on Kosovo, are you looking at any reductions in the size of KFOR in the near future?
First, on Afghanistan and caveats, no ally or partner has requested more caveats. On Kosovo, we have no plans to reduce the troop presence in the near future. As you know, we have the ambition to gradually reduce our troop presence in Kosovo as the security situation hopefully continues to improve. But because of the volatile situation we have witnessed during the recent 12 months, we have postponed the decision to reduce the number of troops in Kosovo. So at this meeting, we didn't discuss such troop reductions. What will happen will very much depend on the security situation on the ground. We will not take any step that can deteriorate the security situation in Kosovo. We will stay committed to fully implementing the United Nations mandate to ensure a safe and secure environment and freedom of movement for all people in Kosovo.
DPA.
Martina Herzog, German press agency DPA. Could you maybe give a NATO reaction to German ministers' plans to more evenly spread troops in Kosovo, to not have them lumped in certain places, but to spread them more evenly? I think he made some proposals.
At the end of the day, it's for our military commanders to make decisions as to how they will deploy troops in Kosovo to get the most effective result. I think you will see some rebalancing in the coming months with a stronger focus on the north of Kosovo, taking into account the volatile situation we have witnessed there.
Question at the back.
My name is Sultan Mohammed from Radio Free Afghanistan. Many people in Afghanistan, in the region, think that NATO, by withdrawing combat forces from Afghanistan in 2014, leaving an unfinished war behind. How could you address these kind of concerns?
We will definitely not leave behind a security vacuum. On the contrary, we have laid out a strategy according to which we will build up a very strong Afghan security force to take over when our current ISAF combat mission ends. And I feel confident, also based on the briefings we heard today from our commanders, I feel confident that the Afghan security forces will be able to take full responsibility for the security by the end of 2014. I have seen a lot of media reports about the capability of the Afghan security forces. But let me just draw your attention to a few facts. The fact is that already now, Afghan security forces are in the lead of more than half of security operations. And as I mentioned, when they have dealt with security incidents, they have done that in a very professional manner. It's also a fact that 85% of training activities are conducted by the Afghan security forces themselves. That's also a testament to an increasing quality of the Afghan security forces. Now, when we have a look at the security situation overall, we have also seen a very positive development in provinces that have been handed over to lead Afghan responsibility. We have seen a decline in the number of enemy attacks in areas that are handed over to lead responsibility for the Afghan security forces. And finally, it's also a fact that 80% of the enemy attacks take place in areas where only 20% of the Afghan population live. In other words, a huge majority of the Afghans live in areas where the situation is relatively calm and stable. I mention these facts and figures to illustrate that the security situation, though there are still challenges, is improving, and the capability of the Afghan security forces is also improving. And based on that, I feel confident that the Afghan security forces will be able to take full responsibility by the end of 2014.
Thank you very much. That's all we have time for now, but I think you'll probably see the Secretary General back on this stage shortly.